Hello and welcome back to another Bad Movie Reviews review hosted by your two favourite warboys from Down Under. And it does work out because funnily enough, well, not funnily enough, the film's just set in Australia, but anyway.
It is.
But what a day. What a lovely day.
Well, good to see it come around, to be honest.
It's been a while. We've been wanting this for quite some time since it was announced. But
Yep.
we are reviewing none other than Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Now, I know obviously they've kind of put in a Mad Max Saga just to basically very much just include the Mad Max name. But
I was about to say include the universe, yeah, definitely.
If anyone's seen, obviously, Fury Road, you know exactly who Furiosa is. But it is written and directed by George Miller, who's returned to do this. He's done all the Mad Max films. You've got Anya Taylor-Joy, who does play Furiosa, and Chris Hemsworth as Dr. Dementus, who are probably the two main pillars of the film. But
Definitely,
this is a film I've been looking forward to for quite some time. I know you have as well. It was in our
most
anticipated, and I could not be more pleased. Personally.
Jeez, he went straight into it, jumped in there.
All I want to say is, before we kind of jump straight into the aspects of the film and the filmmaking side of things, I do want to say it actually took me a little bit off guard in the sense that Fury Road is one of my favourite films of all time. I think it's probably one of the best action films ever made. But it is non-stop action. Like, it's a full 2-hour film. The film starts with Tom Hardy on the top of the thing, eats a gecko's head, and he gets in the car, and it's like it's balls to the walls for the full runtime. This took a very different approach, which I actually really enjoyed, where it allowed its characters to kind of develop. It was still balls to the walls action at times, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But it was a little bit of a slower film, and I'm intrigued to see maybe how
had a lot more to tell.
Yeah, exactly. I'm interested to see how people might view that if they've loved Fury Road. I mean, it's probably a bit more similar to the older ones from the 80s, like the Beyond Thunderdome and things like that, where it's a little bit more character development. In saying that, I think Anya Taylor-Joy probably had 20 lines in a 2.5-hour long film. But phenomenal performance though.
Great.
Yeah, I'll let you touch. That's all I kind of wanted to touch on. I'm interested to see, I guess, the audience's reaction, because I think it's obviously just come out in Australia, but
I'll continue from where you were.
Yeah, better be.
And with what we just said, there's a lot more to tell. It actually kind of threw me off a little bit at the start. I'm like, is a bit more depth to this than I was expecting. It actually was kind of like, I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for kind of something. I guess I was just kind of expecting that straight
away, yeah. No, and 100%. And the way the story is told is probably a bit, it is heavily marketed a certain way, and I'm not saying it goes separate to that, but it did take somewhat of a time before it got to the movie I thought it might be.
Yeah.
But not saying that I disliked that by any means. I actually loved it more than, because it allowed you to really empathize with the characters and kind of understand that backstory a lot more. And, like a prequel should, it should make the original film a lot better. And we've said that before when we reviewed prequels. In my opinion, this actually makes Fury Road a better film as well.
I agree. A lot more depth to
the character. And that's the phenomenal aspect of it. But like, I was smiling for, I think it's 2.5 hours, and I was smiling ear to ear the whole time. Like, I did not think it would live up to its predecessor in Fury Road. But I genuinely do think it.
How did it go with duration for you? Because sometimes, longer films, sometimes you don't mind I did
not. It didn't feel that long at all.
There was one point, it was towards the end where, like, the black screen happens, and then I was like...
Oh, I thought it would end and then the chapter came up.
Yeah, and I was just like, straight away, I was like, yes, more. And I was like, I wonder if Ben's thinking, yes, more, or like...
No, I was like, I'm in now. But like, the way the film, the best way I can put it is, it's almost like a coming of age film, but like masked in a like it's a
really demonic universe.
It's a post-op, obviously apocalyptic, like revenge in probably the biggest scale possible, and it's
definitely.
It's almost upsetting because I not in a bad way, but I think there are only a handful of directors that are operating on the level that George Miller can operate at. The action in this film not that it's like Fury Road level in terms of 2.5 hours straight, but the action in this film when it happens, I just don't know how anyone comes up with this, with this shit. And like, no one directs it like him either. The wide camera angles, almost the oneers that are going through the one shots, the epic zoom ins, like it's just the camera work during those sequences, and we like the weight of the sound and just everything here in terms of the tech side of things is almost just out of this world. It's I do think come this time next year, not next, like a little bit in 10 months time, Oscar wise, it'll be Dune Part 2 and Furiosa going at each other for all the techs, like cinematography, visual effects, sound.
There'll be some fighting going on.
Yeah,
and that's
George Miller and
that means
Denis
it's good
Villeneuve
cinema.
will be in the Dolby Cinema. But
Well, let's jump to the performances. The main two that you mentioned at the start. Obviously, Anya Taylor-Joy, best 20 lines, but we talk about those actors and actresses that can really act with a lot of silence. They use their body and their emotions and their presence to really deliver the whole film. And I felt like that's something that she did fantastic. It was absolutely be a key pillar. And I don't know how to put it into words, but she was fantastic.
I mean, let me put it the way I was actually going to say it is, first of all, she is probably like the best performance of her career. And in saying that, like, she's obviously a very, very, very good actress. But
Agreed.
The best way I can put it is I really don't know how this film would have worked if it wasn't actually her casted in the role. I feel like it's her film. She is Furiosa kind of thing. Like, as I said, just impactful. Like, she's obviously got those ridiculous blue eyes, and that really worked when, like, helped with the performance of it all.
Yeah.
And that was that. Like, I don't know how to put it, but like she was Furiosa, best performance of her career, and not by a short amount. And it's ridiculous considering there is very limited dialogue for her character.
Yep.
But it's a physical role is probably the best way to put it. It's and I can't imagine the amount of like distress she actually went through physically, because it's probably not a hard film to make. It's probably a very hard film to actually film and make, being that you're probably spending countless amounts in the Australian desert, and it's a very, very physically intense role. Like, I don't know if she did her own stunts. I'm not too sure. If she did, then hats off. I really have no idea.
Fantastic.
But then the other thing also is I think everyone's at the top of their game.
I was about to say Hemsworth, one of his best.
As I think Dementis. Did I say
Dementis? Yeah.
By far the best performance of his career, without a shred of a doubt. And like to the point where I would actually be upset if he's not like in the category for best performance by like a supporting actor later this year. Because like, I kid you not, like that's one of my favorite performances of the year.
Yep.
He's completely unhinged in the best way possible. And it's not something we've seen from him, because obviously when you're in the MCU,
you kind of get stuck into it. It is
very difficult because not only are you making your own films like Thor, you're also making the Avengers films. You might make appearances in other films like Guardians, but it is very restricting on schedule. And it's like this. I've always known, and we've always known he's an impeccable actor. Like, you watch a film like Rush where he plays James Hunt, I think it was, the Formula One film.
You can tell in the way he even talks when he's getting interviewed that there's a lot more going on there than the characters he portrays.
I genuinely would love to see him show more range, because like this is just a vast departure from everything he's done previously. Like, even though I loved him in Rush, it's, like the same, almost the same accent as Thor, and it's not really a fit. This was like very similar to Furiosa side of things, incredibly physical. Not only is it the vocal, but like the movement and the aura that he had in the film. Also, I don't know if this film would have worked if anyone else was casted in that role. He was like, they were both that good. And I think even though the action, some of the best action I've seen in a long, long time, I wish George Miller made every action film. I wish he made the next Bond film and just, had wide angle shot on everything. But like, I think everyone's at the top of the game here, but like it's just honestly like I was witnessing. I just felt like I was witnessing something that I was like, this can't be made unless it's George Miller, and that's the best way to put it.
That's fair. It was beautiful along the board. Like
it's obviously very stylized. Like it's very stylistic.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if certain people would go see it and be like, it's not realistic, which at the end of the day, films don't have to be.
like a
But
post-apocalyptic film.
yeah, like it's stylistically beautiful. Like the color grading of the film is a marvel in itself. Like the beautiful dark blues of the night and or like the tealy darky blues.
I have to say, I felt a lot of Australia when I was watching it.
When it's obviously in the day, it's that beautiful like red orange sunset that we get when we're like in a strip. But like that's the way the whole film. It's just, man, like you can tell how just ecstatic I am about this film. I think it is.
I love your passion.
A film that is a marvel, and I want to see. I do want to see. That's one thing that like I know Anya was capable of this, but like I would love to see Hemsworth go out and do some more films that is able to showcase his range, because I think he's definitely capable of it. And this is obviously the first major tasting of a film of its scale. Obviously, he's done previous ones before, but
he's only really doing voice acting at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was that health diagnostic that he got the health diagnosis.
Because I know that he can do.
He took a step.
He can do his lines from anywhere, and that's why he's still doing voice acting, but he's not doing acting.
Yeah, so this film was obviously made in Australia, which made it easier for him to be around his family, and I think he's starring in even the Thor films, obviously made in Australia, the recent ones, and even a bit of Guardians. I think I can't remember, but. And then obviously he's got the Transformers 1 film coming out, which he's done the voice of Optimus Prime in, but it would be interesting to see if he's doing, because I know that was a few years ago now. I think they made this probably 3-4. I think they made it in COVID. It was a fair time ago, so maybe things have changed. I'm not too sure, but man, I'm just marveling at this film, and like
it's been a good year for cinema so far.
It's actually been a seriously good year. Like I'm talking like a few. We don't give star ratings out here, but like I'm talking like a few 5 out of 5s for me in May.
At Letterboxd up.
Oh yeah, you can check my letterbox if you want. Good luck finding it. But it's been a seriously good year. And usually it's always at the back end when it gets really good, when you get the films like the smaller films that are always might change you as a person, but these films are the best way to put it. I came out of this and I was like looking at the Hoyts app thinking like maybe I'll catch the 9:30s. Like I'd go see it again in a heartbeat. Like it's.
I feel like I need to rewatch more now. I get into like you probably noticed with me just from living with me. I know it's a little bit of a sidetrack, but like when something's so good, I get fascinated by it, and then I'll do it. Like I feel like I just want to watch all these again.
Oh, I want to
then go watch that, and then follow up with Fury Road.
I mean, in the credit, this isn't a spoiler. In the credits of the film, it's obviously showing footage from Fury Road, and I was like, "Fuck, I need to watch that again."
Yeah, I feel
and
like
I do need to watch all 3 of the other ones as well, like the Mel Gibson ones.
I watched them when I was really young. I don't even have much memories of them.
Yeah, the level he's operating on in those films are still baffling, because I think it was 1984, the first one. Like and the film at the stunt bit. No, no other words, but go see it. Biggest cinema possible, with the best speaker system possible, because you definitely feel the audio at times, and
the weight is there.
The weight is definitely there, but it is nothing short of a marvelous film, pun intended, my boy Hemsworth. If you're watching this, that goes out to you, but do go see it. If you have seen it, comment below, let us know what you think. But if you don't like it, we don't care. Subscribe for more, like the video, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.